Back in the day when we had floors of exchanges, that's where the universities of our industries used to be, right? People would learn how to do things by watching others, seeing role models on the floor. Well, when the floors closed, we didn't have a natural institutional way of educating the next generation. And so how do we educate people in this dispersed world we live in? And so for me, this was a way to do that, and making sure that we had an independent way that we can teach the next generation of leaders. And this hybrid of online and in-person classes, I think, is our way to do that.
What is the vision of the new FIA Markets Academy?
The new Markets Academy, and it's really a reimagined educational initiative for us, is trying to take the best of online education and bring it to our industry. So we're developing courses for professional development. We're continuing some of the same courses we've always provided through the IFM, like the ethics courses, some of the exchange courses, making sure that traders are not causing problems in the markets. But we're updating that with operational issues, making sure that the back office operations get done, give-up specialists, that our give-ups happen in a timely way, that they're put into the right accounts on trade date. And all this also complements our industry standards body, DMIST, which is developing standards for the industry as well. So now we're trying to educate the industry on those standards. So to me, these are all synergistic. The FIA, DMIST, and the Markets Academy are all working together to hopefully raise the level of understanding education in our industry.
Is the IFM being phased out?
This is just reimagining the same entity. So we have brought it underneath the FIA umbrella. It used to be an independent organization. It still remains an independent 501c3 within our tent. But now we get to be more synced up in how we deploy education for the industry. FIA itself is a 501c6, and so we're a trade association. We can lobby, we can do certain things with government officials. This will remain an independent education, non-lobbying entity meant purely to educate our industry and raise professional standards. So that is going to be the difference.
Will the FIA Markets Academy have a separate board or governance model?
We're going to have advisors that help us develop content. As the slogan goes for our new Markets Academy, it's developed by the industry for the industry. And so we're going to be using advisory committees to help us develop what are the training opportunities that we need to be developing. How do we improve the existing training efforts that we have? A lot of the things that we think weren't necessary to have an actual board, like the financials and the audits and all the things, it's just a bit of a grind and it wasn't necessary. So we've tried to simplify that by bringing it within the FIA structure, but making sure that we utilize the industry for where it really counts, like adding value on education. So that's our hope, is to utilize the industry for those purposes.
Will it remain independent from FIA's policy, advocacy, and lobbying initiatives?
By law, they have to be independent. It is a 501c3 charitable purpose, and so it is purely about educating things in objective ways. So how do markets work? How do you make sure you're in compliance with the laws and regulations of our industry, making sure that the back office operations are working appropriately and safely for the industry? We have a variety of online courses, interactive online courses, which are exciting new way that people are consuming education nowadays. But we're also offering some in-person live courses as well. So we figured that live versus online hybrid is really the best way to give people different formats to consume information and to hopefully get professional standards raised for our industry.
Will you continue to collaborate with regulators and exchanges on compliance and ethics training?
We are trying to teach these market professionals about compliance programs, about regulations. And so oftentimes we also give courses to the regulators themselves. And so it's really important, that feedback loop, that we can teach the regulators about how our markets work, but they can teach us, and we can hopefully be broadcasting how to get into compliance of these regulations so that the markets, the regulators are all in sync. So our hope is to continue that important collaboration and partnership with the regulators, whether it's the regulators in Washington, D.C., or the regulators within the exchanges themselves. But that's an incredibly important part of the collaboration.
How will this program be priced?
We're still looking at the best pricing models, but we want to make sure that this is accessible. It's not going to be such that it's priced out of people. In fact, our goal is to make sure that people are taking these courses. There is, of course, a cost to these courses that we have to have in order to be able to provide that, but it's going to be pretty minimal. I think we're looking at $30 or $40 per course. And there's package deals for those who want to organizationally, pay for big chunks of their employees. We'll have pricing models that will help with that as well.